All right, guys. So one of the themes of my channel, and one of the things that I really pride myself in the fact that I talk about, I discuss this issue, I bring it to the light, is what is going on in regards to the violence towards police officers. Last year, 2021, there was a record number of police officers that were murdered on the job. Murdered in cold blood. Okay, police officers losing their lives left and right. There has not been a more dangerous time in history to be a police officer than today. Okay, because these criminals have been emboldened by people on the left. And unsurprisingly, anybody with common sense would have known this or predicted this, that this will result in more violence towards police officers. And that is what we are seeing today, right? As just this weekend, a few days ago, we saw what happened in New York. Okay, an innocent officer lost his life and another officer was seriously injured. Again, tragic stuff. I think they were responding to a domestic violence call, and some maniac ended up trying to kill him. Okay, trying to shoot him. And recently, we had an officer get shot in D.C. And BLM of D.C. Decided that instead of, you know, trying to honor that police officer or show concern or remorse for what happened in that situation, because these police officers do protect the black lives these people claim they care about. No. They decide to use this as an opportunity to basically complain about how police officers get tear-jerking press conferences and are treated as heroes, right? BLM is basically coming out saying you shouldn't treat police officers as heroes, okay? And you shouldn't really cry for them or feel bad for them when they get shot in line of duty, right? That's what they're saying. So again, it never surprises me just how far these maniacs are willing to go with their rhetoric and their propaganda. But this right here, it really kind of takes the cake. So let's read here about what Black Lives Matter is saying. The Black Lives Matter chapter in Washington, D.C. expressed indignation that police officers who are shot in the line of duty are automatically treated as heroes after an officer was shot and wounded Sunday night in Northwest D.C. A suspect is still at large after opening fire on officers on the street in D.C.'s Petworth neighborhood, the Metropolitan Police Department said. One officer, who has not been named, suffered non-life-threatening injuries from being shot and was treated and released from the hospital, police said. As the scene was still unfolding, Black Lives Matter DC took the opportunity to promote its Stop MPD campaign and warn against the spread of copaganda. So they're calling it copaganda. Okay, so apparently feeling remorse and feeling sorrow for police officers that are shot in the line of duty is copaganda, according to BLM, right? They says, quote, "This isn't to say these scenarios represent what happened last night, but it does explain our skepticism, interest in details, and highlights the difference in how people talk and act when an officer is hurt versus when they hurt a black person. No one asked what the cop did wrong." Well, nobody asked what the cop did wrong for the most part, because most of the time, the cop is not in the wrong, right? A vast majority of the time, the cop is in the right. That's not to say that cops never do anything wrong. But for the most part, when a cop kills an unarmed black person or even an armed black person, it's justified for various reasons. Okay, we're going to get into one situation that BLM is highlighting here in which it was obviously justified. And then they say something about people act different when an officer is hurt versus when they hurt a black person. As if police officers aren't black, right? Some police officers aren't black. Again, you know, I mean, there's been black police officers that have been killed and hurt in line of duty. But I don't hear anything from Black Lives Matter about their black lives, because apparently they're less black because they're police. Okay. It says, "This is the point we've been making for months. Look at the reaction and coverage tonight. Tearjerker press conferences and proclamation of heroes coming soon. Imagine if people knew these folks' names. Being black in D.C. is more dangerous than any job." Well, being black in D.C. is dangerous because of other black people, right? Let's keep it 100. Okay, what is the biggest threat to black people statistically? It's other black people, right? People may hear that and say, "Oh, you're a Tom," right, for saying that. And it's like, no, I'm not a Tom. I'm just telling the truth, right? I'm just keeping it 100, okay? The biggest threat to black people in D.C. is black people, but you don't see BLM speaking out against those people that are a threat to black lives. In fact, they put a list here of people that have been killed by police. And the first person they put here, now this is in chronological order, but again, this just kind of proves my point and just how silly this is. Terrence Parker, killed by MPD. If you guys don't know who Terrence Parker is, Terrence Parker was a dude that ended up getting killed by police officers after police basically went into his apartment, right? And the dude was on the bed, and police basically were trying to talk to him, trying to arrest him or whatever. And dude pulls out a gun and aims it at police, right? Police warn him multiple times to put down the gun, not to shoot, not to shoot. And again, dude was hostile with the gun. Police ended up shooting him, right? So dude pointed a gun at police, put police in danger. Cops shoot him. For whatever reason, people should know Terrence Parker's name, right? He was wrongfully killed, even though he was essentially about to kill police. Again, these people simply don't care about the nuance and the details, right? They complain when police get recognition because, oh, well, why does nobody ask what they did wrong, right? We need to know the details, right? But when it comes to black people killed by the police, the details don't matter. It's always wrong if they're killed by the police. Doesn't matter what the suspect was doing. Doesn't matter if they put the police lives in danger, okay? Again, it just shows you what these people are about, which is just nothing but propaganda, right? And just being anti-police in general. A description of the Stop MPD campaign on the group's website claims that D.C. is an occupied police state and that was never meant to protect black people. I mean, you would think that because D.C. is primarily black, and I think that the mayor of D.C. is black, the police chief of D.C. is black, you would think that by definition, the police would serve as a function to protect the people of that area who are primarily black. So again, what are these people complaining about? The whole city is run by black people, right? But you're still complaining. You're still complaining. So what is the actual issue? Do you just hate police, right? That's what it seems like. You really just hate police because you really don't care about black lives. Because if you cared about black lives, you would support the institution of policing, which helps prevent black people from losing their lives, okay? But for that reason, they don't do that. They don't do that. In the fight for black lives, one of the many rebuffs we receive when demanding an end to police violence and terror is that not all cops are bad cops, the page reads. This assertion is almost always coupled with examples of law enforcement officials who step outside of their assigned duties to quote-unquote help black people, and champions the belief that we can change systems by changing individuals who work within the system, but not the system. We've seen time and time again that doesn't work. It continues. Policing and the system under which police work exists is bound to the enslavement, degradation, and murder of black people and was never meant to protect us, but instead to exploit our bodies and labor to fill prisons and bolster capitalism. No amount of feel-good videos can deny that truth. No dancing, ice cream peddling, dance videos, barbecue eating, propaganda can change that. Wow. Okay, well, you know what? Here's the thing. You know, part of me, you know, want some of these communities that support defunding the police, right? You know, y'all just go ahead and do it, right? Just go ahead and defund the police and just go ahead and abolish them too as well while you at it, right? See how that works out for you, right? See how it works out for you. The person that writes this post, okay, the keyboard warrior behind this Twitter post, they should, you know, not have any police protection, right? So if something happens, they should not be able to call 911. Police should not show up, right? They should just take care of themselves. Just fend for themselves. That's what should happen since these people are so anti-police, okay? The group also tried to cast doubts on how the situation ended Sunday night after police said no arrests had been made following a barricade. So it just concluded no incident or arrest. Huh? Interesting. Make it make sense. All right, so yeah. These people are insane. These people are insane. They really think that police officers who are, you know, shot in the line of duty, okay, they have no remorse for those police officers. And if you do have remorse for them, if you do feel sad, if you do mourn them, then it's just, you know, it's propaganda, okay? And they, in my opinion, legitimately think that all police officers are bad, right? That's what they legitimately think. And it's very clear that it doesn't matter what the skin color is of the police officer, right? And according to them, if you're a police officer, you're a bad person, right? And even if a black police officer is killed, okay, or a so-called person of color that's a police officer's killed, you're never going to hear anything from Black Lives Matter about it because their Black lives don't matter. Okay, their Black lives don't matter. This organization is simply an organization built on trying to promote chaos. That's what they are. They are agents of chaos. That's what they are. That's all they care about. Okay? That is why they want to abolish police. That's why they're anti-police. That's why they are essentially against the well-being and the protection of the black community, because they want chaos in the streets. They want the criminals running the asylum. They want the criminals running this country. It's really that simple, bro. It's really that simple. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.